A question like that in your time, you hardly had any gears or thinking of helmet was nobody had imagined at that time. Probably you started with a skull cap and the nice fast bowler from West Indies probably did hit you at the head. Am I correct?
Yes, I had the skull cap actually in my kit bag for 3 years
Oh, I
before
see.
I used it.
Before
So,
you used it.
yeah, so it had traveled in my kit bag for 3 years, and
Okay.
then in the West Indies in 1983, Malcolm Marshall hit me on the head. I wasn't wearing it, and
Yeah.
maybe it was ego, whatever it is. I still didn't use it for the next two Test matches in the West Indies.
Okay.
But you see, my wife had come just then, just before that test started, and she saw me get hit.
Okay.
And so, while she didn't say anything, when we got back home to India, she said, "Well, if you've got this, why aren't you using it? If you've got this made, and why aren't you using it?" So I thought, yes, I will. So when the West Indies came later on in the year, in December '83, that's when I first used the skull cap. And after that as well, I used the skull cap only for the first session while the new ball was on.
Not well. We've been talking about batting. Let's come to little bowling. Not many would remember, but you also bowled a bit. And Zaheer Abbas was your first wicket. So, what was the reaction of your teammates at that time?
The teammates were unbelievably delighted because Zaheer had scored 176 in the first innings, and he got out for 96 here this time around. Even earlier in county cricket, he had scored a double hundred and 100, double hundred and 100. He had scored a lot of centuries in each innings. He was century hungry. I won't say he was run hungry. He was century hungry. And the thing is that he was, I think, batting on about 70 or 80, I think, when I was given the ball. And the match was petering out into a draw at that stage. So as soon as the ball was given to me, he turned around and said to Kirmani, who was the wicketkeeper, "Arey bhai, isko nahi aur kisi ko bhi dena. Ye kuch gadbad karega. Ye kuch hangama karega." Because both of us, we had toured Australia for the rest of the world. Team 6-7 years earlier, we've become very good friends. We still are very, very good friends. So he knew that I was, because the match was petering into a draw, I would mimic somebody or do something silly. And that's exactly what happened. I started my first ball starting from the side screen, like I had heard all the West Indian fast bowlers do. So I started from, kicked off from the side screen, so to speak, and bowled that first ball. I was so tired after that first ball, my run-up became less than half for the second ball. Then I was coming zigzag and bowling. I was running around zigzag, and I was doing all kinds of things. I was bowling off just 2 paces. So I just 2 paces and delivered the ball. Then I was, So he was right that I was going to fool around just a little bit. But then I bowled this delivery, and I think it was a 96, and he thought that, let's go and hit over the top. And he was very good playing inside out over extra cover. But, unfortunately for him, he didn't quite get hold of it. It was an inside edge, and it went to not quite long on, deep mid-on, and Chetan Chauhan took the catch. I think everybody was delighted at that wicket.
सुपरस्टार से ज्यादा थोड़ा रॉकस्टार में यहाँ बहुत सूट करता है आपको, which I know very well, because rockstar of Indian cricket. How did it feel at the time, though?
It always felt very nice, but I also recognize the fact that on that first trip of the West Indies, but for the fact that I had so many people around me, seniors who helped and guided me. The captain himself, Ajit Wadekar, he had such immense faith in me. And of course, Dilip Sardesai, who actually showed us the way. Dilip Sardesai, don't forget, got 650 runs in that series as well. So and he got 200s at a very, very crucial time, and which is what helped us to actually win the series. Then there was my hero, ML Jaisima, who was in the team. So I used to spend a lot of evenings with him, trying to learn so much from him. There was all these, great cricketers, Irapalli Prasanna, Bishan Singh Bedi, who honored me by naming his first son after me at the end of that series. There were such wonderful guys. and they took me under their wings. And of course, there was that little genius with whom I shared rooms pretty much for the from the second test onwards, and who went on to become my brother-in-law, Gundappa Vishwanath. So it was really a memorable tour.
मैं इस आपसे क्रिकेट के बारे में एक क्वेश्चन करना चाहती हूँ कि 1983 में जो वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल हुआ था, तो आपके जीवन का वो सबसे बड़ा मैच था?
बिल्कुल, उससे बेहतर और बेहतरीन क्षण मेरे क्रिकेट करियर में कभी नहीं आया। अभी भी जब मैं उस क्षण के बारे में सोचता हूँ तो मेरे आंखों में आंसू आ जाते हैं, क्योंकि जो आनंद उस वक्त का था वो अभी भी इतने सालों के बाद भी उस समय की जब याद आती है, उस क्षण की जब जहाँ पे कपिल देव ने वो ट्रॉफी को ऊपर उठाई थी, वो जो एक क्षण है ना, वो उसके लिए अभी भी देखिए मेरे आंखों में आंसू आने लगे। क्योंकि क्रिकेट में देखिए आप कुछ भी कर सकते, पर जब आपकी टीम और खास करके आपका देश जब इतनी ऊंचाई पर पहुंचता है, तो एक जो हैप्पीनेस जो बनता है ना, उसकी तुलना नहीं की जा सकती। ये तो मेरे लिए सबसे मेरे क्रिकेट का सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट क्षण होगा, वो है वो 1983 का वर्ल्ड कप विन।